Beau's Dirty Details. Hello, I'm Beau. This is another segment of Beau's Dirty Details. A segment for reviewing movies, music, art, politics. Really anything that kind of sparks my interest and I feel like needs a review. So here it is. I'm hoping to kind of spice this up eventually here a little bit, so my videos aren't so fucking boring for people to sit through and watch. But anyway, today on Dirty Details, we will be reviewing the box set Unsolved Mysteries, the Ultimate Collection. I know it's all backwards. I can't figure out how to flip it around yet, so just have the deal. Pretty cool box set. I'm not 100% sure. I think there was just so many back in the 90s, maybe late 80s when it started. The show started. I think this is a time period when shows were just shot. There were so many episodes of this in particular shot. It was almost like watching the news. It came on like every night after like either The Simpsons or Cops. By the way, saying that, this kind of brings back a little bit of nostalgia for me, just because, you know, growing up, I was someone who watched The Simpsons when Fox was back when Fox was kind of cool. They had Married with Children, Cops, The Simpsons. And these shows were, I don't know, it was an amazing time period. And then this kind of reminds me of my childhood, and then, late at night it'd always be like, kind of dark in my house, darkly lit, for whatever reason. It's just getting close to bedtime or something like that. Unsolved Mysteries would come on. It's definitely a show that you don't really want to watch with the lights off. Well, I mean, actually, it is a show that I want to watch with the lights off because it adds that much more like effect to its eeriness, the stories. So, anyway, host was Robert Stack. Rest in peace. He has passed away now. There was several story arc themes in the show, and I didn't realize it until I bought the box set. I don't even think this box set has every episode of Unsolved Mysteries out there now. And I noticed like in the early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s, they started remaking Unsolved Mysteries with I can't think of his name, but he always plays a mobster in movies, and his voice just didn't do it for me. There was some other actor, and he passed away recently too. There's some other actor out there I can't place my finger on now that I think has the perfect voice for the show. It's reminiscent of Robert Stack's eerie voice. He just had that voice. But anyway, the show's broken up to several different themes. One is bizarre murders. Another is ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. I believe in spirits. So I think, in my opinion, calling a spirit a ghost is almost is disrespectful. That's my own personal theories. Maybe we'll go into that in some other segment. But, UFOs. Okay, and then another one is Strange Legends, which is a pretty good one too. Oh, by the way, in the remake with that other guy, I forgot his name. It's driving me nuts. I forgot his name. They actually remake some of the old. Well, they redo some of the older episodes, but leave like the old like reenactments in, which bothers me. It's like, well, why not just replay the same videos? Robert Stack. I feel like there was more of an eerie effect with his voice. Apparently they decided they need to go a different direction. Another one's called Miracles. Um, and then they got one that's based based on psychic power, psychics. And then they have a bonus disc called Treasures and Ghosts. I think the box set is actually pretty cool. They kind of make it look like this old treasure chest. And actually, it's been a while since I've watched it, so it's collected dust, so that kind of adds to it too, because it's like, if I ever have children or grandchildren, I want them to look through all my shit long after I'm dead and just be like, what is this? Unsolved Mysteries. Did Grandpa have like some sort of weird files on this? God, let's watch this. Like late at night. I don't know. That's some bizarre thoughts, but I just think it's kind of fun. The segment or the reenactments for each one of the stories was always very interesting, funny. They're very cheesy. Like, so there's this element of the story itself which is actually scary, and then you got the narrator Robert Stack voice, which is very creepy. The story itself with his voice, him telling the narration of it, is really creepy. I mean, this is something like if you watch it night, you're gonna be like up, sitting up in your bed all night with the light on, like looking around. Like this series, like really seriously freaked me out. And even as a child, maybe that's one reason why I have trouble sleeping now. I don't know, but so. But the reenactments were always ridiculously cheesy. They had like some of them were just not really. I mean, it was obviously like really staged. Like if you watch a lot of like episodes or TV shows back in the '80s, especially like I feel like things weren't put together that well. So like I mean, you could tell everything was obviously staged, and everything was obviously staged in a ridiculous way. And Married with Children is definitely at the top of that list of being ridiculous. But so there would be things like in one of the episodes, I don't remember which one it was, but there's one episode where there's this reenactment, and you can clearly see, and this woman walks into this room, and you can clearly see, and it's supposed to be just her in this room by herself, and you can clearly see a body laying on the ground, on the floor next to the bed. And it's probably like a cameraman or some sort of sound operator or something, but like they didn't hide that very well at all. And then another funny fact is before Matthew McConaughey got his start and started getting more fame, was I think he must have been in his like early to mid 20s, maybe even teens. He plays he's in one of the murder mystery stories. Um, he's just in one of the reenactments, and he's like one of the victims in a murder, like in the reenactment. Um, there's this one scene where he's just pushing around a lawnmower, mowing the lawn. I don't know. It's just kind of funny to me. But uh, so I guess there's not a whole lot for me to say on it other than, you know, Robert Stack was fucking amazing. I think he starred back in the day in like a TV series of The Untouchables, or I don't know if it's The Untouchables or forgot the name. Lead investigator in the Untouchables group, but he's often portrayed in movies like mystery movies of like based in 30s, 40s, whatever time period it was. But just a really good overall show. Like I said, one of those movies that you can watch. It's the most fun if you're like at home alone at night watching the show, because you definitely get the real effect of the eeriness and creepiness of it as if you're watching it with someone else. I mean, it's still fun watching it with someone else. But, for me, it's always been like you're alone at home. It's 10 o'clock at night. You're watching the movie in the dark, or watching the show in the dark, and yeah, and then after that, it's hard to get back to sleep. But I think that's the. I think this is like the thing that makes this show so special, is the fact that it has a kind of effect on you with the suspense and the eeriness of it all. I just keep using that, going back to that word eeriness, because that's the best word to describe it. It just has that eerie quality about it, and it's still fun. Like it can still make you giggle just because of the reenactments are so fucking cheesy, but good show. Um, yeah, I wish they would remake the show, Unsolved Mysteries. I wish they'd continue it on. It went on for a good at least 15 years, the show, before Robert Stack died, and then they ran it for a little while with I can't remember his name. I think it Dennis Farina. That's the guy. Dennis Farina. He recently passed away not too long ago too, but he was running the show Unsolved Mysteries after Robert Stack died for a little bit, but they just went back and like redid a lot of the old stories, which in my opinion kind of bothered me. It's like Unsolved Mysteries covered every unsolved mystery out there ever. Like I don't get it. Maybe like they could add more themes, like story themes. Like like I said, you got the bizarre murder mysteries and UFOs and ghosts and hidden treasure stuff, whatever. I mean, maybe they could add more type different themed story arcs. Um, I don't know. It seems like they could find other stories out there instead of reenacting the same shit or bringing the same shit back with a different narrator. I know they're trying to obviously bring in new audiences so they can keep the show alive and keep it running, but I don't know. I think Robert Stack is the best one out there and could still bring that crowd in. But there's somebody else. Damn it. And I was just thinking this the other day, too. Someone with that eerie, almost Robert Stack type voice that could pull this off. I can't think of his name right now. I mean, I can't think of who it was. But one person that might actually be kind of good at it, now thinking of it, it's not the guy that I'm having trouble thinking of his voice, but this would be a good character or a person to do the voice, be the narrator for any future Unsolved Mysteries would be, and I can't think of his name. He played Job in Arrested Development, and I don't know, I can't remember his name. Good actor, comedian, funny, but he has a voice that sounds like it's been through a fucking meat grinder, or gravel crusher, rock crusher, or something like that. You could possibly pull it off. I'm not saying you could. I'm saying possibly. But that wasn't the main guy I was thinking of. There was somebody's voice the other day I heard, but I was like, wow, that would be perfect. Anyway, I don't have much more to say. Otherwise, it's just going to be me rambling on and on and on. So, this has been another segment of Beau's Dirty Details. Beau's Dirty Details!